Last week we read the results of the first time that WARC has published their annual creative rankings. For those of you who are not familiar with the world of awards, WARC Rankings are the successor to the Gun Report, which measured the overall performance of agencies in their campaigns across a spread of international award festivals. It's a little more transparent because now, unlike the Gun Report, WARC names the festivals which count towards their scores. It's not entirely transparent because they don't reveal the rankings, so it's possible that one award win will count 5 times as much as another award win. Well, we don't think that's great, but it's a step forward. So, as there isn't a better one, we had a good look at who won what in the WARC Rankings. Unsurprisingly, the agencies owned by holding companies won a lot more than the independents. And in fact, 88% of the top agencies and 81% of the top campaigns in the WARC Rankings were created by agencies belonging to large holding companies. And independents obviously are getting very few of those. This repeats the pattern that we've seen ourselves in major award shows like Cannes. Over the past 3-4 years, there's a kind of a benchmark that says around 25% of entries to the Cannes Lions Festival are from independent agencies, and yet only about 12% of the awards that win Lions are independent agencies. So in other words, if you are an agency owned by a holding company entering Cannes, you are twice as likely to win an award as an independent agency. Now, there are a lot of people who would say that this is unconscious bias or cheating or better PR by the holding companies or people looking after their own. We're not taking that view. We're taking the view that it's as objective as we can get and that there must be a reason. And our interest in all of this is to try to redress the balance and help independent agencies to do better in awards shows. We may like them, we may hate them. We cry when we lose and we cheer when we win. But they are influential and they influence us. We see an independent has won an award at a big festival. We will go check them out. If we don't know them already, we'll get to know them and hopefully they'll become part of the Network One family as well. So what can we do to help? Well, 2 years ago we launched the Indie Awards and we think they were a step in the right direction. So we're keeping going with that and we're going to run the same festival, the same awards this year as we did before. They're simple to enter. There are only 3 or 4 categories, basically creative, media, PR. They're affordable to enter, just $200 per entry. They are judged by independent agency practitioners and they're only offered to independent agencies themselves. It fulfills a gap that an independent agency can benchmark its performance against the work of other independent agencies. But this year we're going a step further. So what we're going to do is not only maintain those criteria, not only publish the results and the winners, but we will also give feedback to any agency that enters the independent awards. We will tell them exactly what their work scored against the average of all the entries made. We'll also tell them exactly what their work scored on each of the criteria. So if the criteria is originality or insight or strategy, then each of those entries is scored against one of those criteria. And we will tell you, if you've entered the Indie Awards, whether you were above or below the average on strategy, above or below the average on originality, and by how much. So you can see why you're doing well and why you're doing badly. More than that, we'll also ask an independent expert, a creative expert who is respected within the industry, and we'll have a team of these obviously participating in this, to give you feedback on what you could be doing better. It'll be subjective, but it's intended to be helpful. It will cover both the quality and the nature of the work that you've entered, and the way that you've put the case together. Because our aim is twofold. It's to help the independent agencies know how good their work is compared to other independents, but it's also to help them raise the quality of their work and the way they put together their entries, and let us change that situation where, as an independent, you're spending hundreds of dollars or euros entering work with only half the chance to win that one of the holding company agencies would have when they're competing against you. So please, watch this space. You will get notified within the next few days of how to enter the Indie Awards 2019. We really hope you will, and while we are not in any way biased, I wish you luck.